Okay, so this is gonna be your 1 1/4 hip thrust. I'll show you with the barbell. I'll also show you with the dumbbell really quick. But if you're setting this up at the gym, you're gonna have a bench. Ideally, the lower, probably the better. And if you need to press it up against a wall, you can, or sometimes you can put like a dumbbell on each side on the back just to kind of hold it in place if you feel like you need that. You're gonna need a pad like this for your hips, unless you have a sweatshirt that you wanna use, but I think for the barbell, the pad is really good, and for a dumbbell, a sweatshirt is good. So to get into position, you're gonna have a seat on the floor, get your legs under the barbell, get your pad on, roll the bar so that it's right over on your hips, and you're gonna hold the barbell as you kind of walk your feet in until they get flat. This takes like a little kind of squeezing yourself in here, that's normal. Whenever you're doing your hip thrust, you want to be mindful that you're really pressing through your heels and really driving through your big toes, okay? So make sure that you keep those points of contact because it makes a massive difference. The other thing I want you guys to be mindful of is when you are coming up, I want you to keep your chin down so that we're not flaring our rib cage and extending our back as we're coming up. Like, we're not coming up like this. You want to keep the rib cage down and really drive through the feet and lift the hips, okay? So I'm going to be here. You're pressing up against the bench right underneath your shoulder blades. So if the bench were higher, like on top of my shoulder blades like this, then I would have to kind of get up and then shimmy myself in the top position until I was pressing against the bench underneath my shoulder blades. So that's pretty common, especially if you're shorter or if the bench is really high. So this bench is nice because it's already right underneath my shoulder blades, so I should be able to just come up. So we're gonna be here, big toes down, heels down, chin down, press the feet through the floor, lift the hips, tuck and squeeze the glutes at the top. Notice that my gaze is staying forward, so I'm not coming up and rocking my head back. And when I come down, I'm not just curling my back under and driving my shoulders up. We don't want to be here. Shoulders down, chin down, tuck and squeeze the glutes. So from here, you're going to come down an inch, up an inch squeeze, and then you'll come back down again. So it's 1 1/4, 2 1/4, right? This would be 3 1/4. Something else to keep in mind is that you absolutely do not have to tap your glutes down to the floor every single rep. Depending on the length of your torso, how high the bench is, it may be comfortable for you to tap your glutes down every time. But if you're shorter and if the bench is too high, you might find that you're in a position at the top where you're here, and that if you wanted to come all the way back down and touch the floor, you would have to kind of curl your back under, which you don't want to do. So you want to keep this flat. So if that means that you come here and you're not tapping the floor, that's absolutely fine. Just come back up, tuck. Okay, at the top, your ankles should be right underneath your knees. So if they're not, if they're too far forward, you're going to end up working a lot more hamstrings and probably not feel as strong in this exercise. So really kind of get yourself in here before you come up. Really quickly, same kind of thing with the dumbbell. I would use a sweatshirt across your hips just to help with the dumbbell. If you're using a dumbbell, my tips in general for hip thrust across the board, since it's like lighter than probably what you could do, I want you to pretend this is really heavy. So I want you to act like you're lifting something very heavy. So same kind of concept, pressing up beneath the shoulder blades on the bench, toes are down, heels are down. When you come up, really press, 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 tuck, squeeze, hold. So notice how that is a lot of tension that I'm creating versus me just doing this. This feels like nothing. I'm just flying the dumbbell everywhere. So you can create more tension by how hard you're pressing through the floor. So if you're only working with dumbbells, that's fine. Just be mindful of trying to have like a lot of that muscle to mind connection and creating more resistance on the way up and on the way down.